that don't interest me. "All right." "Oh, and I'm sorry about your friend," Jerry calls to me as I begin the slow ascent up the stairs. His words hit me like a physical object, make me stop on the third step and lean against the wall. They bring a fresh wave of grief to the surface, and I'm glad he can't see my face. "Thank you," I say, hoping he will leave now. "The missus says she was a good, close friend of yours for many years. I'm very sorry." "Thank you," I say again, then start climbing the stairs. One foot after the other, that's the only way to do it. I wish people would mind their own business. I have no interest at my age in collecting the sympathy of strangers, or near strangers. In fact, I can do without sympathy at all, no matter the source. I still imagine myself to be self-sufficient, and in order to maintain that illusion, I keep a small garden at the end of the lane. Sometimes, while I'm weeding, I'll stop and look across the street at where the old church used to be. After the fire, they left the lot vacant and rebuilt the small brick building on a lot in town. But the old foundation is still there somewhere, under the dirt and the plants and the trees that came up over the years. Time covers things, but that doesn't mean they're gone. If I'm honest, though, I have to admit that during some gradual phase in my life, I became too old to work the farm myself. There was a time not long ago when my farm fell into disrepair, and I thought it would be the end of me as well, because I couldn't bear to watch so many memories collapse in on themselves. Then the family that moved into Abra's old farm, Jerry and the missus and his boy, asked if they could rent my fields and barns. I said yes, because I had no good reason to say no. Now they take care of everything, and I live quietly in the old farmhouse, puttering in my garden or sitting on the large front porch, trying to remember all the things that happened the summer my mother died. Jerry's son looks to be about 11 or 12, my age when it happened. I wonder what he would do if his mother died. I think he's scared of me, and I don't blame him. I don't shave very often, and my hair is usually unruly. My clothes are old and worn. I know I smell of old age. I remember that scent from when my father started walking with a cane. Sometimes Jerry's son will hide among the fruit trees that line the long lane and spy on me, but I don't mind. I pretend not to see him, and he seems to have fun with it, climbing up to the highest branch and peering through an old tube as if it's a telescope. Sometimes, though, when he gets to the top, I find myself holding my breath, waiting for him to fall. Everything falls in the end, you know. I stare at the mirror again after climbing the steps and wonder where all the time has gone. I pick up the necktie and try again, but my old fingers can't quite get it right. I remember when I was a very young boy, my mother would sometimes put a tie on me, her delicate hands weaving the smooth fabric in a magical way. "There," she would say, patting the knot of the tie and looking rather pleased with herself. "Now you look like a young man." The boy reminds me of myself when I was his age. He runs around the farm with sticks and pretends they are swords and magic staffs. Those days seem so long ago. Now I move slowly, carrying only a cane that is nothing more than a cane. I don't know if I have the power anymore to turn this cane into anything exciting. Anything like a sword pulled from a stone, or a gun that could kill an amarok. Sometimes I feel like I have forgotten how to pretend. I give up on the tie and sit with relief at the desk by the window that looks out over the front yard and the garden. It's rather eerie how the farm has returned to almost the same condition it was in the summer my mother died, the summer of the fire. Sometimes when I look down the lane, I expect to see her walking back up from the mailbox, or my dad to wander in from the barns, dirty and ready for dinner. After many years of wondering if I could get the story of that summer exactly right, I have decided to simply write it as I remember it. There's no one else left who was there when it happened, no one to compare stories with, no one to agree or disagree with my own version. As I think through the story, I wonder if it's even possible that everything happened as my memory tells.